It's pretty good, right?
So Tampa wins it in overtime. I think 3 of the 4 games thus far have gone to overtime.
Regular.
That one's the regular one.
Yeah.
That was the regular one. Okay.
That was regular time.
Hockey DB doesn't have their playoff stats updated, so maybe he was playing.
The one thing that people were tweeting about a lot, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. Are you upset with the handling of Nikita Kucherov and his appearance in Game 1?
There's no doubt that he was ready for like 3 weeks now.
At least,
like he was unbelievable. Scores 2 goals. He didn't miss a beat. Like he's been ready to play, and they've just been holding him back. And there should be a fine associated with that. I think because you can't purposely hold players back who are healthy.
I look at it as I don't really think Tampa did anything wrong when everybody is committing shenanigans. Capfriendly.com is right now it's on playoff mode, so I'm not really sure how to look up what I want to look up right now, but I want to look up how many teams. So the cap is 81.5.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look up how many teams spent above 85. So like you spend between 81.5 and 85. I think you're using LTIR roughly the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're spending like
90,
I think there's a few teams spending like $100 million. I know that
the Leafs have done that. The Leafs have done that in the past.
Yes. And to me, it's not Tampa doing something illegal. It's a system that makes no sense.
Right.
The system is there to prevent teams from spending too much money because it puts the league in financial peril, and it's failing.
So here's what I would ask you. Is the counter argument not that it's working pretty well? Because a small market team like Tampa is able to spend that much money and hold the Hart winner from 2019 out of the lineup for the entire season.
Well,
and be fine.
So
it's fine.
It's funny.
In a pandemic.
There was an argument that, oh, really? They're going to hold their Hart winner out, and that's a great strategy for them. They're galaxy brain.
It literally is.
Yeah, no, but then you remember they won an entire Stanley Cup with one period of Steven Stamkos.
Yeah. Who scored, by the way, that one period?
Who scored?
That's right.
And probably shouldn't have played because he was very injured.
But he scored.
But he scored.
But he scored the second he scored. I'm like, well, because that was Game 3, and I'm like, well, they won the cup.
Yeah.
They won the first team to ever win the cup in Game 3.
My only thing is I don't know how you enforce it when all the reporting from their own team is on the level. Like they can just be like, no, he's injured, he's got to stay out, and then all of a sudden he's healthy again. Like, so there's no way to prove that they're lying, quote unquote, because it's all their own reporting.
Jesse, to that point, Steve always says, with NHL players, you could make up a reason. 100%. There's always a reason they shouldn't play.
Exactly.
He was definitely
of the time they're hurt.
And he wouldn't be as rusty as he usually would be. Like, his last game was late September, and the playoffs are beginning in May.
It's 9 months. Long time.
Yeah, but it would usually be like June, and then like he might have, who knows, he might have had enough time to come back. So I'm looking here. I got Cap Friendly open. I figured it out. So 81.5 again is the salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can tell, I think maybe more than half the league. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Almost half the league spent more than that. So who's egregious? The Wild are just underneath with 80.8. Bruins are just underneath with 81.1. Then we get the Montreal Canadiens, 82.2. This is his final cap hit. Mm-hmm. I'd love to know actual money.
I'm sure Cap Friendly would help us out with that if we asked.
Yeah, probably. I'll send him a text after. But yeah, the Lightning, let's just skip to the top. 98.8.
That's how much cap they used this year. 98.
Get out of here. LTIR used 17.3. So what's amazing about that is Kucherov's only a little more than half of that. So they would still be like second or third in LTIR used without $9.5 million from Nikita Kucherov. Come on. Now,
This is when I look at people and I go, so you don't think my luxury tax idea is a good idea?
Anything that's not this is a good idea because they're literally they're not abiding by the rules.
So my suggestion is let them spend a little bit more. Yeah. Let them spend a little bit more and make them pay an egregious penalty for it, and then support the small market teams who then can spend more. It's crazy. I don't understand it, but whatever. So the thing I want to say is, if this is how it's structured, like in an 82 game season, there is absolutely no way this happens. It's only because it's shortened. It's only because Kucherov's injury was pretty bad that this actually happened. I know people are extrapolating, going, well, this is part of a larger problem. How many superstars do you really see being held out by their teams because they wanted to re-sign Eric Cernak, as important as he is? Like, honestly, I don't think that anybody's going, oh, well, you know what, the Edmonton Oilers, they may hold out Leon Draisaitl next year because they need a goalie. Like, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen in an 82 game season. And if that is the way the rules are structured, Tampa took advantage of that. You do anything you can to win. So I laugh when I see people go like, well, this is outrageous. This is ridiculous. And this is happening so much. It's not happening that much. Big players like that are not going to be sitting on the sidelines for an entire season. This is not going to be a regular thing. And by the way, those players, do you think Kucherov wanted to sit out that long? I'm sure they said to him, listen, Nikita, this is going to kind of suck. But, if your timeline is early May, then we're going to hold you out an extra couple weeks. That's an agreeable situation. But if you say, Nikita, listen, it's October and your start date is mid-January, we're going to hold you out till the end of March.
Right.
Not going to happen.
Well, like, how many players on your favorite team? I was going to say the Leafs, but let's include everyone. How many players on your favorite team do you think are heading into the playoffs right now at 100%? I'm willing to bet it's at least less than half. Mm-hmm. It's at least less than half of your roster. So Riley Nash is going to play his first game as a Leaf, and he's just great. He's fine.
He's 100p.
And Freddie Anderson and Zach Hyman and Carey Price and Brendan Gallagher and Shea Weber, who I don't even think is practicing, and who are all expected to at least dress for game one. So I don't hold this against the Lightning. I mean, if they've done something that they cannot do, Jesse, I 100% agree with finding them. I don't think they did.
Can I throw something at you guys?
They can do it because there's the situation in place allows for cap circumvention. Like it's a thing in the collective bargaining agreement where you can do these things. So yeah, they didn't do anything wrong.
It's not in the spirit of it, but if we followed the spirit of it, the game would be a lot more boring.
Right. But they got a free $9.5 million on their salary cap for the entire season because they held out a player longer than he should have been out. Nikita Kucherov had hip surgery in the fall. He would have been ready to play this season if they just didn't care about the cap space.
And with that in mind, Vladimir Tarasenko will dress for game one for the St. Louis Blues, just announced 10 minutes ago.
Who are number 2 in LTIR, used at 8.6.
How much does Tarasenko make? It's like 10 million a year, something like, or 8 million?
Oh, he's on a nice deal. I want to say 7.5.
Oh, is that it? Okay. Well,
Is that it? And the Isles are, oh dear, oh heavens. The Isles are third at 6.9.
Of course they are, because Lou's running them. Of course.
And then the next few teams, you look at them and you go, of course, all the playoff teams. The next teams in order are the Canucks, the Blackhawks, and the Ducks. So, I look at that and I'm like, okay, so those are just teams that needed it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Blackhawks are because of Taves.
Right.
The 10 million Taves that sat there all season.
Is that what he counts as LTIR?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
I find it so odd that we just didn't. Oh yeah, he is on LTIR according to.
And Seabrook was out, right?
Oh my God, Taves is on LTIR. Seabrook, Shaw, Zach Smith.
That's a little different circumstance.
Yeah. Alex Nylander. Oh yeah, it's all different. But Zach Smith 3.25, Shaw 3.9, Seabrook 6.875, Taves 10.5. Mm-hmm. Oof, Maroon.
And also added onto the Tampa situation, they have Marian Gaborik still on their LTIR just to get them to the LTR floor. Or whatever it is. Marian Gaborik.
On what team?
Tampa.
You're lying.
He's a salary cap hit on their LTIR to get them. You know how it's like if you push the limits of the LTIR, then it starts adding to your cap space or whatever it is. That funny thing. So they have him there at I think it's like 4.5 salary to push the LTIR to get him a little more, and then you add on Kucherov. So there's a lot of shenanigans going on here, and the NHL needs to fix this salary cap situation. And Adam, I love your luxury tax idea. It's a lot better than this goofy thing that everybody's lying about.
Yeah, nobody's spending over, except they all are. All of them.
Like,
and a lot of them are small market teams. Hey, what do we name in there? How many of those? Tampa, Anaheim. What else do we have in there?
Oh, Chicago's big market.
No, yeah. So, Steve, let's go through the top 15.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I was looking up how the frig they got Gaborik.
Yeah.
Where was I? Was I asleep? Okay, top LTIR used. Tampa number 1, St. Louis number 2, Islanders number 3. I think Adam might have a
small
point.
Market.
Canucks, not really. Blackhawks, definitely not. Anaheim, yes.
Yes.
Edmonton, yes. Washington, no, not really. Dallas, Winnipeg. Toronto,
Winnipeg,
the smallest of them all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like I mean, look at what the Leafs did. They were calling up guys and sending them down, and Hyman. At the end of the season, there were 3 guys who could not play, or 2 or 3 guys who could not play because the Leafs literally couldn't afford it. Sandin is a Leaf, and they made him a taxi squad guy because they couldn't afford it. So everyone's exploiting the system. It's just the system.
You want to make the Tampa Bay situation fair? Tax them. Tax them on holding Kucherov out. Tax them.